Just hours from now, former President Trump's team will be back in the Manhattan courtroom as that civil fraud trial resumes. Yesterday, the former president's legal team doubled down on their arguments against the gag order placed on him. As Trump himself prepares to take the stand again, that'll be in December, I think the 12th. Here to discuss, George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley. Jonathan, we know that the judge said, oh, you're guilty of fraud to begin with. This is a fight to see how much he owes and to set him up for appeal, correct?
That's right. I mean, the trial has really gone into a stage that you can only describe as over the top, and that Attorney General James wants $250 million in penalties to bar the Trumps from doing business in New York, effectively ending the Trump organization as a New York business, a business that has employed thousands. And the question for many is why? You know, no one lost money here. The banks didn't file. They made money. But you have this law that James is using that doesn't require anyone to lose money. She's asking for $250 million because she says that the properties were either overvalued or undervalued. Well, that's a long-standing practice in New York. It's not a good practice, but you don't have people using this nuclear option. But you have to keep in mind, Brian, previously Attorney General James sought to disband the NRA. To destroy it as an organization. So there's a certain pattern here, which is troubling.
By the way, why you do that? Right before an election, take a powerful group that traditionally supports Republicans who are pro-Second Amendment and try to cut their knees out. So there's seems to be a plan here. I just know Eric's going to take the stand. I think the theme for the defense, if I could simplify it, because that's the lane I function best in, and that is they're going to say, I didn't do my books. I didn't do my tax returns. I didn't do financial. I depend on my accountants for this. This is what happened, and there's no plaintiff. The plaintiff is a political attorney general, right?
Right. Most of this testimony is really geared towards an appeal. This is like trying to have a productive conversation with a firing squad. You know, it's there for a reason, and it's going to end the way you expect. So they're really trying to build a record for the Court of Appeals to say, look, it's over the top, that this is really politically motivated, and someone's got to step in and show a modicum of restraint here.
All right, so let's talk about your column. It's awesome. You were an op-ed, and you brought up Adam Smith, and of course, his foundation is capitalism and what it does to change the world, and we certainly subscribe to that here. But you said the invisible hand of Adam Smith has just slapped Disney. Why is it? How does that relate to the movie industry?
Well, Adam Smith this is his 300th anniversary, and he's aged pretty darn well. You know, his principle is very, very simple, you know, that there is this invisible hand, that people make choices that can influence products, can influence policies. And Disney has long taken this sort of approach of the English Navy, that the floggings will continue until morale improves. You know, they kept on producing these woke movies, and people weren't going, and they just kept on producing them, expecting people to adjust their values to the company. Well, that didn't happen. And so shareholders are beginning to ask why we ever really went down this road. You know, Disney used to be the gold standard of stock. I mean, this was America's corporation, because they were selling something that took us out of all of our divisions and all of our bitter fights in politics. They gave us, yes, fantasy. They gave us entertainment. And then when Disney decided to get involved, for example, in its opposition to the Florida parental rights legislation, that really crossed the Rubicon, and you saw a more active Disney in trying to shape public values. Well, it didn't. Instead, it reshaped their earnings portfolio, and you've had a series now of hundreds of millions of dollars have been lost on movies because people are just not going. And that's the invisible hand, and it's really slapped Disney.
It really has, because they put out 4 movies. I've not seen any of them, but they're woke movie flops, costing the company billions of dollars. They're actually changing movies that they've done in the past to get it up to today's standards of which the consumer doesn't seem to like. 100%. Thanks so much, Jonathan. Read his column in The Hill today. Appreciate it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.